Hello, it's good to have you join us on the news at this hour. I am Joy Ken Abapuya. We begin with some cheering news. The Lagos State Government and the National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers have arrived at a compromise, putting on hold the proposed strike by the union over certain agitations by tanker drivers. Lynn Leneke has details.
The strike by tanker drivers was called off after the grievances presented to the Lagos State government by NUPENG were deliberated upon, resulting in the issuance of a communique signed by representatives of both parties. The compromise addressed the manifold of problems affecting the operations of tanker drivers in Lagos in recent times. The leadership of the state, among other things, promised to tackle the menace of area boys who outrightly ambush tanker drivers, extorting illegal fees for baseless reasons. The state government also assured the tanker drivers that allegations of payment of multiple levies to security agents will be investigated with a view to eradicating the practice. Following the agreement, petrol tanker drivers have proceeded with other regular operations with a certainty that normalcy will prevail. In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, Nta2 News.
Meanwhile, the incessant cases of road traffic crashes caused by trucks and trailers have drawn attention of traffic management authorities. This time, the Federal Road Safety Corps Zone 2 Command, in collaboration with other relevant agencies, has flagged off its latest strategy, Operation Scorpion, to curb the menace in Lagos. Again, Lynn Leneke reports.
Some of the major causes of road traffic crashes identified by the Federal Road Safety Corps include unlatched containers, overspeeding, disregard for road signs, among other causes. In tackling this menace that is claiming lives across Nigeria and incapacitating many, the Federal Road Safety Corps Zone 2 is reinforcing its commitment to ensuring safety of lives on roads within its jurisdiction. During the enforcement drive, over 30 trucks were impounded. This trailer driver is among those arrested for knocking down a road user and personnel of the Federal Road Safety Corps who was on duty. The victims have been taken to the nearest hospital for treatment. The leadership of the Federal Road Safety Corps says it will not relent until sanity is restored on roads across the country. In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, Nta2 News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has given strong assurances that the desired security and stability will be restored to the northeast sub-region and other parts of the country bedeviled by acts of crime and criminality. This followed the adoption of a new strategy as well as the acquisition of state-of-the-art military hardware towards reinvigorating the fight against terrorists and other criminal elements undermining national security. This was at a crucial meeting with the Northeast Governors Forum held in the State House, from where Adamu Sambu reports.
Members of the Northeast Governors Forum, led by Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State, were in the State House to formally appreciate President Muhammadu Buhari for the steps taken so far in the fight against insecurity and compare notes on the best way forward following renewed hostilities in parts of the sub-region.
The government of the region has commended the efforts of the federal government in taking a bold step with a view to securing the region. And I think security is not only about federal government, there's need for the federal government as well as the states and the local government to come together with a view to providing solutions that will end this crisis in the region.
At the interactive meeting, also attended by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Ministers of Defense and Police Affairs, National Security Advisor, Service Chiefs, and the Inspector General of Police, as well as heads of other security agencies, the Northeast Governors Forum made these suggestions.
There is a need for the Nigerian government to address the root causes of the insurgency, which are not limited to endemic poverty, hunger, among others. People need to go back to their farmlands. People need to be resettled in their original homes so that they can start their means of livelihood. This is one of the reasons why insurgents are recruiting more into the sects. We also recommended that police should be empowered with a view to bridging the manpower gap that we are having in the Nigerian military.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who empathized with the people of the Northeast, especially Borno State, reassured them that things will improve very soon.
I assure you, Northeast governors, especially the governor of Borno, that we go to bed and we wake up thinking about you and how to secure our country, because that is the fundamental responsibility of our government, security. And our party, we recognize this. We campaign on the three fundamental issues: security, economy, and fighting corruption. Nigerians, we thank God, understood us and they voted us in. The general report I'm getting, other than the conventional one from the intelligence sources, is that the army should do better. And this is the truth. We will continue to do our best.
President Buhari said despite the limited resources occasioned by COVID-19, his administration will leave nothing to chance in its genuine efforts at achieving a safer and secured environment for the good of all. Already, he explained, modern equipment have been acquired and much more still to come towards empowering the armed forces in the task of protecting the nation's integrity. He therefore called for more patience, understanding, and cooperation from the citizenry, especially in the sharing of intelligence. The Secretary to the Governor of the Federation, the Chief of Staff to the President, the National Security Advisor, and all the service chiefs who spoke in support of the President were emphatic that normalcy will soon be restored. Apart from the challenges of security, the meeting also discussed issues relating to decaying infrastructure, especially roads, oil exploration and exploitation in the sub-region, as well as ways and means of enhancing the river basin development authorities for economic benefits. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, Nta2 News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the instrument of accession of the agreement for the establishment of the African Trade Insurance Agency. The agreement and the agency are registered with the Secretariat of the United Nations in line with the Charter of the United Nations. Kenneth Nanim has details.
Lack of adequate political, non-commercial, and commercial risk insurance is said to be an impediment to the availability of finance for investments in Africa and the expansion of Africa trade and intra-Africa trade. The African Trade Insurance Agency, when executed, will therefore acknowledge previous multilateral efforts made by African states towards regional economic integration through cooperation in trade. Recalling the economic objectives and aims of the African Union, there are several African treaties on regional economic integration, including the treaty establishing the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, the treaty establishing the Southern African Development Community, and the treaty establishing the Economic Community of West African States. A memorandum from the Minister of Justice and Attorney General, Abubakar Malami, stated that the request for the President's signature on the agreement was equal to the directive of the Federal Executive Council that the instrument be prepared and forwarded for execution. The ratification, therefore, was adopted at the Grand Bay in the Republic of Mauritius on the 18th day of May 2000. The objective and purpose of the agency is to provide, facilitate, encourage, and develop the provision of or the support for insurance, including co-insurance and reinsurance, guarantees and other financial instruments and services for purposes of trade, investment, and other productive activities in African states in supplement to those that may be offered by the public or private sector or in cooperation with the public or the private sector.
Vitamins.
You're watching Nta2 News at this hour. Time now for a break. The news will be back shortly. Do stay.
Coronavirus is real. Steps to avoid this pandemic. Wash your hands regularly or sanitize your hands. Keep social and physical distancing. Avoid crowded places. Stay at home unless absolutely necessary. Don't touch your eyes, nose or mouth if your hands are not clean. Avoid the spread of coronavirus. Coronavirus is real.
Vitamin C fit prevent coronavirus. If you enter social media now, you feel they see some kind of videos now we go tell you, see, if you summer this kind of vitamin plenty for your body, if it prevent coronavirus. If you see that kind of thinking, just do like this. Jump and pass, because that one no follow. Vitamin C good for body. But the truth be say, no correct gist from any ogbonge medical association don't come out say if you summer plenty of this vitamin A, if it prevent or cure coronavirus. Anyways, here be today's tip. No follow any people go do group exercise. No follow any fitness trainer talk say they won't enter empty road this time of self-isolation, say they won't keep fit. You know, say people fit exchange bodily fluids, and many people feel no they show symptoms, okay, and everybody no get coronavirus for forehead. I don't too talk plenty. I beg, no forget to always dey wash on a hand and dey safe.
Hey beautiful, your eyes, your smile are all begging me to take you home tonight. Now reading. Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Ntel 4G. Ntel. Live more.
Thanks for staying tuned to COVID-19 Update Now. The latest statistics provided by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control reveals that 219 new cases of coronavirus have been recorded in the country as of the 10th of August, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 46,867. The new cases were recorded in 15 states and the FCT. The breakdown shows that Lagos recorded the daily highest with 82, followed by Plateau also with 82. Oyo has 19, FCT 18, Edo 16, Kaduna 15, Enugu and Ogun 9 each, Kano and Kwara have 8 each, while Cross River, Ondo and Rivers have 5 cases each. Ekiti has 4, Imo has 3, and Borno has 2. The total number of patients discharged so far stands at 33,346, and sadly 950 deaths have been recorded. Still on COVID-19, Nigeria is yet to reach the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, and the recent decline in confirmed cases should not be used as an excuse for irresponsible behavior and actions. Chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Boss Mustafa, gave the warning at Monday's briefing in Abuja. Metaire Ikpen reports.
Nigeria's COVID-19 positivity rate is put at about 15% of more than 300,000 samples tested so far. Despite the modest effort in managing the pandemic, the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 draws attention to the fact that Nigeria is also sadly approaching the mark of 1,000 fatalities.
I believe that if we ramp up the tests, if the subnationals deploy resources, deploy manpower, collect samples, search, detect, test, and take into isolation and provide care, we will see much bigger figures. For one test that we have confirmed, the likelihood is that 7 would have escaped. So to give you a very good picture of the figures we are talking about, multiply what we have today by 7. Of the rates of infections that have probably spread all over this number of local governments.
Our focus is still to reduce fatality to less than 1%, not only with preventive measures, but also with a strategy that encourages citizens to report early for treatment and for hospitals to attend to all patients in distress.
For those who continue to deny the existence of COVID, I would say that close to 20 million people cannot be wrong. We have about 730 deaths worldwide.
Ahead of the WAEC examinations, the Minister of Environment assures parents and students of safe, decontaminated centers.
Also, there will be a daily decontamination